However, we don't get landfall until the exact center of Nicole moves onshore. Now we do have a severe weather threat heading into Wednesday. Isolated tornado threat is possible as we get any sort of tropical system moving through our area. Now let's take a zoomed in look. Currently you can actually see part of the center of circulation of Ian as a tropical storm starting to move off the coast, though heavy rain bands along the northern side of it still move onshore right around the Daytona area. Flash flood emergency ongoing. Zooming in. Regardless of development, we will see local impacts here as that low pressure area gets closer. Coastal impacts, including gusty winds and the potential for heavy rainfall, with the heaviest rain focused along our coastline. Hurricane force winds off the coast of southwest Florida, but those outer bands have really been the story for us. We are not going to see that major hurricane wind strength. We're going to be dealing with an isolated tornado threat as these outer bands move off the coast around that high pressure and breezy easterly winds heading into this weekend. That builds our seas along the coastline, kind of rough out there, and also increases the threat for rip currents along our beaches. Through the afternoon, showers and storms will begin to shift towards the west as that east coast sea breeze is a bit stronger than the west coast sea breeze, which means any sort of shower and storm activity will focus primarily on many of our inland spots and west of Lake Okeechobee too. This include that northeastern corner of Indian River County, includes Indian River Shores, Gifford, Wabasso Beach, and Sebastian until 8:45. So we have about 10 minutes left in this tornado warning.
Yes, let's get back over to Jen. Jen, it felt so good out there this morning.
Oh, it's so nice. I had the windows open on my way to work. Yeah, nice refreshing air masses in place. But there is a number right underneath that actual temperature that indicates the feels like temperature. What is that? Well, it's essentially a wind chill calculation that's taking place, and it factors in what the temperature feels like to the human body. And so really tonight's the best night to launch off from Cape Canaveral. If you're in our area, you're going to want to look to the north because the launch is out over the east over open waters of the Atlantic. Also, never leave children or disabled adults or pets inside a parked car, even for 5 minutes. Your car's interior can heat up to 120 degrees in just 15 minutes and even reach temperatures of 140 degrees after 1 hour on some days. And it was a very, very great school talk, I have to say. It was right here in Riviera Beach, right down the street.
So, what are you holding?
And they even gave me this afterwards saying, thank you, wherever you go. No matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine. And this morning, yeah, it's a bit of a soggy one. And soggy end to the weekend. We're tracking widespread rainfall right now across the Palm Beaches and Treasure Coast. We will see the potential for some localized heavy rainfall that could lead to some localized flooding as the day goes along. And then sunny, drier weather returns for tomorrow. We will bring pleasant conditions in with low rain chances over the next few days, just not today. We are tracking very heavy rainfall across Broward and Miami County, starting to spread into parts of southern Palm Beach County. Light to moderate rain across the Treasure Coast at this time. Some heavier rainfall just off the coast of Vero Beach. We actually are staying dry in inland Indian River County and Okeechobee counties, starting to see a little bit more light rain move in from the lake. And then heavy rainfall right now in southern Palm Beach County. We're tracking some heavy downpours starting to move towards the coastline at this time. So this is the trend through the morning. On and off rain, could be heavy at times. Take it easy on the road, slow down if you can. Temperature-wise, we'll sit in the lower 70s through the morning. By lunchtime, we start to see some light rain moving in. Not a great day on the water. We have a small craft advisory in effect, a southeast wind 15 to 20 knots with seas at about 5 to 8 feet. We do have a moderate chop on the intracoastal. Tides are a little bit elevated because of the full moon, though not expecting any sort of coastal flooding activity. Now, the reason why we're seeing widespread rain this morning is because of a stalled out frontal boundary to our south. This front is starting to lift to the north, so it is bringing its moisture with it, which is why we're seeing scattered showers across the area this morning. Now this front will meander in place as the day goes along, and then by early this afternoon, high pressure is going to start building in. This is going to swing that front away from our area, and by midnight tonight, we're nice and dry, staying dry for most of the day tomorrow with just a few passing clouds. So we're going to see a few thunder showers early this evening, temperatures in the 60s overnight with clearing conditions by the start of tomorrow morning. And then for tomorrow, more sun in the forecast. Still breezy with a northeast wind drawing in slightly cooler air as highs remain in the middle 70s. A look at the rest of the week's forecast. Dry conditions return starting on Monday, lingers around through the end of the week. It isn't until the end of the week we build in, a cold front moves in, This will actually bring our temperatures into the 80-degree mark by Thursday, but then drop our temperatures into the 70s just in time for the start of next weekend. So soggy one for today, but then drier and pleasant for the start of the week.
I'm Sid, and these are my best friends. My mom, Kim, my dad, Ty, and my sister, Maddie.
Sailing the world with a family on board is a dream shared by many, but only lived by a dedicated few.
We thought we were going to take a life pause, and we would buy a boat, just take a break. Our kids grew up, and we thought, well, we're young enough now, let's go take that adventure.
An adventure that finds Kim, Ty, their daughter Sid, and dog Stella living aboard a 45-foot catamaran and sharing the whole experience with a YouTube audience that's 26,000 strong and growing.
The community is really amazing. Meeting all of the amazing people that we've been able to is extremely cool.
The Armstrong family is adding a challenge project this summer, fixing up a wrecked 50-foot catamaran right here in Fort Pierce. That puts them square in the middle of the hurricane zone, an area insurance companies define as the most active for hurricanes, which basically includes the entire state of Florida. And most boat owners head north this time of year to avoid the high insurance costs.
Further into hurricane season, when things get a little sportier, we'll actually be farther south in the Caribbean islands. So we're not blocked by Cuba or Puerto Rico or Florida. We'll be farther down the chain. And if we see a storm coming and we feel any concern, we just sail southwest for a few days.
The crew can also seek shelter in so-called hurricane holes. That's safe harbors from the worst of the wind. But even a canal can provide protection with the right rope work.
Imagine this now 200 feet long. We've got them tied off to all these strong points or cleats on the boat, and we'll actually suspend the boat in the middle of the canal, and everyone will do the same down the middle. So we're all protecting each other, tying everything off like a big spider web. So this boat will have 10 or 15 lines tying everything back to piers on both sides of the actual canal. We want to keep the boat from impacting anything else. As long as we can keep the boat isolated, it's floating on the water will cushion it on the bottom. We're just trying to keep it from banging into things on either side.
Just like all of us landlubbers, the best way for the crew to stay prepared is to check on the forecast every day. That way they can make sure both boats, the family, Stella, and the YouTube channel have nothing but fair winds and calm seas ahead.
We have the risk of being exposed to weather and hurricanes and all those other things. The benefit is we get to have those experiences, and if a storm comes, we get to move. So it's hard to pick up your house here in Florida and move it. So
if you know that you've prepared as best as you can, and there isn't anything else that you can do, you just make sure that you and your family is safe, and the rest just go with the flow.
In Florida, there are now more than 1 million registered boats across the state. So whether you're living on board or have your boat parked in the backyard, create a hurricane plan and make sure your boat's maintenance is up to date. Some marinas even have memberships that will secure haul out in case of a hurricane. To learn more about the Armstrong family, their YouTube channel, and other ways to keep your boat protected during hurricane season, just go to our website at cbs12.com, click on the search bar, and type in Sailing Dauntless.